Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm Jessica Williams and I'm thrilled you're joining me today. It is Monday, so it's time for some motivation. Here's the quote. Try new things, step outside of your comfort zone, take risks, do things in ways you've never done them before, ask for help, surround yourself with self-actualized people, become obsessed with the fact that you have one go-round on this planet as the you that is you, and realize how precious and important it is not to squander that. The quote speaks for itself, but I'll add, if you have been sitting on a decision, going back and forth, wondering if you should say yes, or if you should take that leap of faith or take the risk, I'm speaking to you. This is your sign to go for it. Go all in, because tomorrow is not promised, so you must live for today. And on today's show, we are kicking off our Money Mondays series with Foster Financial and learning all about the important topic of having life insurance. This topic is for all ages because it's so important to ensure that you and your family are secure if a tragedy happens. Then I speak with the Wayne Ballet about their upcoming performances, their dance podcast, and how everyone in the community can enjoy dance classes of different genres. If you want to learn a little tap dance or maybe jazz, they got you covered. And later, we get a sneak peek at some of the best products to make your life easier as an adult or parent from our Best Reviews team. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. If you love our Wealth Wednesday financial segments, then you're going to love our Money Mondays with Foster Financial. And joining me is their Vice President, Caleb Doan, to share some holistic financial advice specifically for women. Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going great, thanks.
Good. Okay, so we're changing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Providing some Money Mondays specifically for women. So let's start off. Share with me why it is important to have these topics catered to females.
Yeah, so I mean, the vast majority of financial education out there is targeted towards men, when in reality, women play a huge role in their family's finances.
Yes.
And so I thought it'd be helpful to kind of do a series where we talk specifically to them.
Yes, I love that. So thank you.
Yeah.
And so what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, today I wanted to talk a little bit about life insurance. So, you know, we're holistic financial advisors, and so that means we kind of take an overarching look at people's finances, and there are many different aspects that play into somebody's financial picture.
Okay.
And so there's, you know, the investment side, there's the tax side, the legal side, and then the insurance side. And so I kind of wanted to focus on that piece. And I think it's one that maybe gets overlooked a little bit because a lot of times people don't like to think about, you know, the worst case scenario where life insurance would come into play. And so today I wanted to talk specifically about term life insurance.
Okay, so let's start from the jump. So just in case someone may not know what life insurance really is and how it is beneficial to them or their loved ones, can you share more?
Yeah, life insurance typically pays out a benefit when somebody passes away to the beneficiaries on the policy. And so term life insurance is usually the most simple one and the most affordable one for people as well. And how that one works is there's a term associated with it, a length of time. And so it might be a 15-year term life insurance policy for $100,000. And all that means is that if somebody were to pass away within that 15 years, $100,000 would get paid out to their beneficiaries. And so it's a pretty, you know, simple type of policy, relatively affordable, and it's probably one of the most necessary ones for people to have.
Okay, and is a benefit, what I understand with the long-term insurance is the fact that you keep your rate, right? So it's a fixed rate.
That's exactly right.
Each year, okay, or each month.
Yeah, if you lock it in for 15 years, let's say, you're going to pay that same monthly rate for the entire 15 years. That's typically what they call level term or level premium. And so there's a lot of reasons to have these types of policies. Kind of focusing on women, I wanted to mention how it's really important for them to have life insurance policies on their husbands or their spouses oftentimes. Typically both spouses need some life insurance on them. But a lot of times, husbands, let's say, will have a little bit of life insurance through work, maybe 2 times their salary or something like that. If they make $50,000 a year, they'll have a $100,000 life insurance policy through work. But usually that's not quite enough to cover the needs there.
Right.
And so it can be helpful to get term insurance outside of that.
Yeah, and that's important to know that people can actually have multiple policies. Right. And so is there a max amount that you could put on, that you can hold a policy for?
Typically, a good rule of thumb for the amount of insurance to have is around 10 times your income.
Okay.
And then the length of time, there's policies that range. Typically, term insurance, the longest term policy you'd get would be maybe 30 years or something like that. But that's kind of typically the range you see there. And really the rationale behind getting a term policy, there's a few. One of them is income replacement.
Okay.
So, if there's a husband and wife, maybe both of them work. If the husband were to pass away, of course, the wife would no longer have his income to use on their typical expenses. And so having sort of a lump sum benefit there is able to help out with those expenses. The other piece is debt obligations. Maybe both the husband and the wife were making payments towards their mortgage, car payment, home equity line of credit, whatever it might be. And so if he passes away, there's a lump sum of money that can be applied toward that.
Yeah, and so typically when you are advising and people are trying to understand which term they should go with, is it true that the longer term is better because as you age, your policy will go up because there's a greater chance of being deceased? Is that correct?
So yeah, if you were to take out a policy, like a brand new policy when you're 20 versus when you're 50, it would certainly be a lot more expensive when you're 50.
Yes.
Just because the insurance company looks at you and says, hey, there is a higher likelihood that you will pass away in the next 20 years than it was when you were 20. And so it can be a great time when you're young to take a policy out and lock it in for a longer period of time. And sometimes, I'd say most of the time, we see the scenario where as you get closer to retirement, sometimes your need for life insurance will decrease as you get older. Because maybe you have a nest egg built up. If a husband were to pass away, the wife would have enough in her savings to cover her. But especially when you're young, maybe you have kids that are still in the home, it's a great time to take a look at it.
Yeah, you could probably have paid off your home and your debt and expenses have gone down, so you reduce the policy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Caleb, as always, for sharing really important information.
Yeah, sure thing.
And Foster Financial is here to help women plan for retirement. So if you have any questions, you can contact them by scheduling a complimentary consultation. We'll be sure to have their phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
The Fort Wayne Ballet is the longest running professional ballet company and academy in Indiana. They focus on nurturing a passion for dance, providing safe and comprehensive training at all levels and ages. And I'm thrilled to speak with Karen Gibbons-Brown, their artistic director, and Jim Sparrow, their executive director. Hello, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. So dance is just such a beautiful thing, and the Fort Wayne Dance Ballet offers just so many opportunities for the community and kids of all ages, not to mention the performances. So I'm so excited to dive in deeper and to learn about the dance company. So can you start off by sharing the mission and the vision of Fort Wayne Ballet?
Well, the mission really is to create a passion for dance in a variety of ways. One of the things that I think most people don't know about Fort Wayne Ballet is it really is an all-inclusive dance organization where it does have the academy, but it has the professional company with professional performances. And that's something that is really at the core of our mission in terms of making sure that it's accessible to everyone, but that dance is for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. And kind of breaking down the 3 pillars, as you mentioned. So you all offer community classes, which is great, but you have your academy, which is the training, and then you have your professional dancers. So can you break down and kind of dive deeper into each of those different sectors?
Sure. We have an academy program for students ages 3 and up. I think our oldest student is 85.
Wow.
So it's lifelong learning.
Right.
It's great.
I love that.
And you never not learn as you dance. And those classes actually started this week, but sometimes they come once a week. Then we have a pre-professional program for students who want to dance professionally or be in the dance field professionally. And those classes are 6 days a week with a pretty broad offering of things that they must take. And actually this past year we placed 4 of our students around the country professionally.
Oh, wow.
So that was exciting for us.
That is.
And then we have a wellness program that we've begun for the lifelong learning, as I mentioned, where you may come in and take ballet, Pilates, yoga. I'll be leaving some things out. We have a beginning tap class. And if you have had no experience or a little experience or experience long ago, that would be the place to join us.
Right.
And then we have the professional company, and they're actually people from all over the world that come to Fort Wayne to provide a season of performances. So they're starting to come back in town now, and they begin on September 5th. So here we go.
Wow. Okay, so that's so cool. So you recruit from all over the world to create the performances that we get to see from, the fall performances, the Love Notes, I remember earlier in February, and then of course the Big Nutcracker and performances in between. But I want to go back to something that you said. So through the training academy, you develop the dancers and then send them out to professional dance companies, and then the professional dance company that you have, you recruit in. That's so cool, that back and forth.
We do have some of our dancers that grow up through the program. Sometimes they go away and dance with other companies and then return home to work with us for a while, and that's really rewarding as well.
That is. And so in addition to offering your dance classes and education, you just rolled out something new, your podcast and blog. So share with me about that. Kinetic Conversations?
Yes, Kinetic Conversations.
Yes.
So we, like I said earlier, we want to try to engage people where they are. And we found that podcasts, blogs, and various other things are easy opportunities, especially driving in the car. You can download our podcast and it will remind you in terms of favorite on Apple or any of the other podcast services. And it's just a simple way to talk a little bit about dance, but also to talk about maybe what's specifically happening at Fort Wayne Ballet. The blog is the same, and there'll be a variety of other things that we'll be rolling out along with these community classes that are really designed, if you are intimidated by dance, don't be. We're trying to make sure that it's a situation where you can engage.
Right, yes. And throughout the engagement, you both have quite a background in dance. So we give a little history, share about your passion with dance and how you started?
Go ahead.
I don't think you have a background in dance.
I have a background in the arts. So my background in the arts, I have come to Fort Wayne Ballet, been here for 5 years to be executive director. A lot of this was to help the organization continue to develop its professional company and reputation, not only in Fort Wayne, but outside of that. But before that, I ran an arts council in North Carolina for 5 years. I ran Arts United here for 8 years before that, and then was actually, a long time ago, was a professional musician and played with the Fort Wayne Philharmonic years and years ago. So I've been in the arts in various parts of the country, but never directly in dance until this stint.
Okay, that's exciting.
I trained in South Carolina and went away at a rather young age to dance at American Ballet Theater in New York, and then danced in San Francisco as well.
Wow.
And why I really wanted to be a professional dancer is I love to teach. That's really my passion, and sharing the art. I enjoyed dancing. It was wonderful. I'm thrilled to have had that experience, but I really love being in the classroom.
Yeah, and sharing that passion.
Absolutely.
Which is so great. And so, of course, the season just kicked off, as you said.
Yes.
So can you share about the upcoming performances?
Sure. Our season tickler, or opening, is Wine Bar, and I think that's September 21st. And it's only one evening. We launched this program last year, and it would be 2 evenings, but we are taking some of our dancers. We've been invited to perform at the Arpino Festival in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
So it's the same weekend, so we'll do one performance only, then we're heading to Chicago. Then we have Nutcracker. Hard to believe. Oh, before Nutcracker.
Before that, we have opening night.
Oh my gosh, it's a thrilling opening night. We're so lucky to be able to access works from around the world. You have to be approved, and the company has to be of a certain quality. But we're doing 3 really beautiful ballets. One is an Arpino piece, Italian Suite. One is a piece by Agnes DeMille called 3 Virgins and a Devil, and it's a comedy piece. I saw it when I was about 15 and thought it was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen. And then our last piece is Fancy Free. which is by Jerome Robbins, and it's actually based on the town. So the ballet came before the movie On the Town, so it's where ballet meets Broadway.
Okay.
It'll be a fun program. And then we have, of course, the Nutcracker, which is beautiful and magical.
Yes.
And in the spring, we have Love Notes in February. Then we have Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
And then
yes.
we have Pints and what is it? Pints
on Point.
Pints on Point, which is a program similar to Wine Bar.
Okay.
And then we finish our season with a Firefly tour,
Right.
Oh.
where we go around the community in different parts of regions. So that'll
And
be
I
fun.
think one of the things to remind people, as we talked about the wellness program, there are a variety of things that are very accessible for various members of our community. Our family series is very popular.
Okay.
We do 3 performances. They're in our studios. It's really targeted for children 3 to 10, but it's not just for them. In other words, it's a short program. It's about 25 minutes. It's very much something that you can bring a family member or somebody who is maybe not familiar about ballet. It's a great sort of diving in point.
Oh, I love that.
And our family series, so that I've mentioned this, it's a trunk or treat in October for children specifically. And it's called Spooky and Kooky. Then they're doing Madeline. You might remember the story from your childhood.
Yes.
And then they're doing Thumbelina.
Okay,
So
yes.
it's where the children sit on the floor up close to the dancers.
Oh, I love that. I love that you all offer something for everyone at every stage of their life, at their if they're a professional or if they just want to dance.
Right.
We just want to dance.
That's what we want you to do. You dance
Yes.
even when you walk down the street. You
Yes.
just put it in French. So
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more about this, Karen, Jim. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yes. And you can learn more about the Fort Wayne Ballet and see their schedule of upcoming shows on their website. We'll have it listed below, and we'll be right back.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Do you feel like there's never enough time in your day to complete everything on your to-do list? Well, for me, days and weeks fly by but we have some products that will help make your life easier. Olivia Horton is standing by to share some top tested items from our Best Reviews team.
With school back in session, many parents find themselves short on time and with a long list of things to do. Joining us now with the top tested products to make your life a little bit easier is Senior Director of Content Operations from Best Reviews, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. You know, this time of year can get so hectic, it can feel overwhelming as all those responsibilities come back. So we brought some things that'll make each part of life a little bit easier.
And I know all of the new moms and dads out there want to make their life easier, and this gadget is going to do just that.
Yeah, and so I've been testing this in the Best Reviews testing lab with my own, infant daughter, and this was by far our favorite product for parents because it just made a hectic time that much easier. It's the Baby Brezza, and what it does is it makes a formula bottle for you. So as any new parent will tell you, the baby starts crying, she's hungry, she wants that bottle now. You need to get it to the right temperature, you need to get it to the right amount. This can do all of that with the touch of a button, so it's one of our favorite recommendations for parents that want to simplify their process.
Love that. That's helpful for the parents, but so is this tablet too.
And this is great for the parents of, with bigger households, with families that, need to manage their schedules. It's all moving parts. When sports get going, they need to go this way, the other ones need to go that way.
Yeah.
So this will help you manage your schedule and make sure that everybody's on time. And then for the dads out there that are obsessed with, is the thermostat being touched and are the lights being left on? If you set this up with the Google Nest Smart Thermostat and then also use smart light bulbs, you can check from anywhere or right from there what light bulbs have been left on, where are we at in terms of the temperature in the house. So it's also an ultimate piece of product for the dads out there as well.
I love that. My mom and dad probably could have used this a long time ago because I used to leave the lights on a lot. Now, another gear for the house. This is going to help everybody with the cleaning.
Yes, and nobody wants to clean, right? So what we've seen in the last few years is an explosion in popularity for things like robotic vacuums. Well, this is a robotic mop, and it's from the same company that makes the Roombas, which is iRobot, and this is the Brava jet. And it's so cool if you have that toddler that's on the high chair and throwing everything down on the vinyl floor, tile, whatever, hardwood. This is perfect for that. But also, if you have more rugs or carpeting, we've done a ton of testing on robotic vacuums and would recommend a ton there too. The Eufy is a great budget option to check out.
Well, that's going to save you time on cleaning, but what about saving you time at the gym, Jacob?
And when the responsibilities start stacking up, what's the first thing to go? It's usually going to the gym and getting a good workout in. So this Bowflex adjustable dumbbell is one of our favorite recommendations because it's versatile enough that if you only have about 10 minutes that you can squeeze in, you can get a solid workout in. So we absolutely love this thing. And the prices exploded on them in 2020, but they've come down now, so they're available and not that expensive either. So love the Bowflex adjustable dumbbell.
And I know all the kiddos are going to love this next one. This Ninja over here actually makes ice cream, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so this is from Ninja. It's called the Creamy. It's hugely popular on TikTok. We've been testing it a ton. We've been testing it to try to see if we can make even ice cream flavors that are a little bit gross. But what ended up happening was, as long as you got enough sugar, as long as you got enough whole milk, as long as you got some vanilla extract, it's going to be delicious. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about simplifying the life. Once school starts, the kids feel like, things aren't as fun anymore. This will help you simplify making fun again on those weeknights even. And it's really a ton of fun figuring out how to get that perfect texture and how to get that perfect flavor when it comes to making your own ice cream.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for all of these helpful products that I know will make people's lives so much easier. We appreciate it.
And thanks so much for having me.
Of course. If you'd like to shop any of these products from Best Reviews, just scan that QR code on your screen.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Thanks for tuning in today. You can always rewatch full episodes or individual segments on our Living Local 15 YouTube page or on WANE.com. And I'll leave you with this. Try new things. Step out of your comfort zone. Take risks. Do things in ways that you have never done them before. And most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.